Billy.
What's up?
Billy. It's kind of like dilly. It's a good day to celebrate, my friend.
It is.
Good day to celebrate indeed. The Carolina Panthers showed up today. It was kind of sketchy at first. Opening drive for the offense and defense, really. Both sides kind of really worrisome at first. Panthers ultimately get the win 31-21 over a really red-hot Bengals team coming in this who was 2-0 offensively anyway, and defensively. Solid front there as well. But, hey, cheers.
Yeah, we played good on both sides of the ball today. Something we didn't do last week.
Yeah. Really, offensively, this is the best offensive game we've seen out of the first 3 weeks of the season anyway. Kind of talked about it was going to take a little while to get this thing rolling offensively with new pieces, a new offensive coordinator implementing some new schemes with new players. So, but you're starting to see that come together, and we're starting to see a lot more of those plays we wanted to with guys like CMC, a little bit of DJ Moore still. Hadn't really shown a whole lot of him yet that we were talking about. But some of these other guys, and then we've seen some disappointments as well we saw today, Billy. But right now, if you're watching this, be sure to go ahead and like and follow us on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe as well. If you're watching us there, we're live on both simultaneously right now. So do that. Share this post if you would, so we can get some more Panther fans in here. We will be taking calls here shortly, so that's always good. But right now, Billy, let's jump on this offensive side of things. How about that?
All right. Cam Newton once again had a clean game this week.
Yep.
15-24, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked once, which is great.
Yes.
For our pieced together offensive line,
considering that defensive front we were just going against.
Yes.
Very impressive. In our preview show, that was one thing we talked about. We actually gave the edge in our preview to this Bengals front, who has been stout. I think they've had 6 turnovers on this defense coming into this week's game, and Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins, these guys have been getting to the quarterback, and our pieced together offensive line showed some discrepancies, I guess is a good word for it, last week, giving up a lot of pressure to Atlanta, who I would say is still a very good front, but not as good as the Bengals going into this week. So I was a little worried, but you're right. You said he got sacked once. Was that it?
Yep.
And I mean, that's impressive. That's all. You can't ask for much better than that.
I think that was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you can't ask for much better than that with this piece together offensive line. Chris Clark on the left side coming in with, again, just off of 3 days going into last week's game, and now like a week and a half, has really just been, the commentators kind of hit on it. Ryan Khalil telling him when he goes to the line, hey, you just need to block this guy, because he had no idea what's really been going on, and he's starting to get the feel of things. You can already tell that's showing up to be a huge signing.
Yep.
And he actually had a great block on that C.J. Anderson screen pass. Beautifully drawn up screenplay, by the way. Getting C.J. Anderson and CMC on the field. CMC was obviously the focal point the whole day. 28 carries, 184 yards. Don't tell me my man can't run through the damn tackles no more.
Yeah, that today he destroyed. It was nice to see McCaffrey do that. At the beginning, I didn't think it would happen. And then towards the middle of the game, they brought Anderson and I said, "Oh, here goes his momentum." And they took Anderson right back out and let him keep doing it. And he showed he can run and he can get some yak too.
Yeah.
He was breaking tackles at the line almost every run.
Showed another flex today, just straight mushing a guy off of him. You saw him do it to the Falcons safety last week. Did it to, I think it was a linebacker today. Just the guy ran up on him, went up to him upright like he was about to take CMC down, and he just boom. Knocked him down, went for the first down. I would love to see his yards after contact, that yak you were talking about. I would love to see CMC's today. I'm sure it'll be released by Pro Football Focus or one of the others. But, man, whew, he was tearing it up today. And as you said, C.J. Anderson not very much involved at all today. Obviously, he did have the big touchdown that was kind of centered, the defense again, reacting to Cam with the little swing route to CMC, and he just turns it back and tosses it to CJ. Chris Clark getting upfield on that and blocking essentially 2 guys out of the play at near the goal line, making that easier on CJ Anderson, getting the reception of the screen for a touchdown.
Yeah, there's actually 2 linemen up there. Khalil was the other one.
Yeah, Khalil. Yeah, and that's something that's good to see too. Khalil coming off of missing pretty much the whole season last year almost. That's good to see him getting out there. Another guy who had Cam's first rushing touchdown of the day, Van Roten, was out there in front of him, one-on-one in space, blocking well. Offensive line, look, kudos. Billy, we got game balls to give out later, and I don't know who the hell. I mean, we're gonna need like a whole bag.
I have mine.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You have one?
I have one.
Okay. Well, just overall a great team effort. Though.
Oh yes.
I mean, everybody really did their jobs. Like we said, the first drive was really skeptical coming out. Obviously, 3 and out for the Panthers. Torrey Smith dropping a pretty good deep pass once again. Dude, he has got hands like a deer right now.
Yeah.
It's aggravating. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he did have 6 targets. He got 3 of them. But there was, at the beginning of the game, I was like, here we go. Here comes the drops. Cam was throwing high. But looking at the receivers, Funchess today, balled out. I mean, 4 for 67. He only missed 3, and I can remember 2 of those being super high.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so
I do remember one of them being a high throw from Cam.
And he was my bounce back player this week, and I would say that he definitely bounced back, got in the end zone also.
Yep, and he was also in our fantasy outlook. You took him we both took him as getting the over today, and he answered that well. He was projected 8.71. Funchess coming in with a 16.7 in fantasy for you fantasy players out there for the Panthers. Big game from him. CMC projected 21.12, comes in with a 21.4. That number could have been really inflated had he gotten in the end zone.
Yes.
That's a huge day. If he almost got to 200 yards, if he'd got that, he'd have been the first player since DeAngelo Williams in 2012 to hit that mark as a Panther. Cam Newton, and I think we both actually took the under on CMC.
We did.
We did. We both took the under on CMC. Cam Newton, projected 20.19, came in at 29.60. We both took the over on that. And big day for Cam. 4 touchdowns. As you said, Billy, 15 to 24 and 150 yards through the air. And you look at that 150 yards, and people are like, oh, well, that ain't a great game for a quarterback. But this offense isn't built to, like, throw the ball deep. Now, I do wish sometimes later in the game they would stay a little bit more aggressive when they're up. And, again, we kind of talked about that today, but the running game just kept working. They just kept giving it to CMC up the middle, and the offensive line, again, I can't praise them enough, just gaping holes left and right. So great stuff there. Hit y'all's comments for a minute right here on Facebook, and I'm going to let Billy read to see if we got any on YouTube rolling in. Everybody praising the team. Good win, saying they'll take it. Mike Strib saying Jackson shut up. Yep, we're going to talk about him right here in a minute. Dante Ames, every few years you can catch a star being born, number 94 and number 26. He's talking about the London native F.A. Abada and Dante Jackson, cornerback. Both had big games today. You could see them. We had all of our star players up here at the bottom of the screen at the start of the show. Mike Strib, can't catch a cold, talking about Torrey Smith. And Aaron Pine, Abada is my player of the game, on nobody's radar. 1 critical sack, an interception. Kid came from England, didn't play football till he was 20 and grew up a victim of human trafficking. And that is an incredible story. Fought his way through all that, was finally able to get to school, and then come over here to play football. And this happened last year. This year this is his first active game on the roster, and he got put in with a couple opportunities, and he took full advantage of it.
Definitely. We talked about game balls. He's getting mine today.
Yeah.
Of course, we had the overturned fumble at the beginning that he went after. Then we had the interception with him laying out to catch the interception, and a huge sack.
Yep.
It's an amazing story, and to know that he came, this is his 3rd team.
Yeah.
So he's been on 2 practice squads on ours, and then is active now, and he has taken advantage of it. But he has great people in front of him to teach him how to play.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the big thing. Like Julius Pepper, you got Julius Peppers and Mario Addison in front of you. You're gonna. I feel like you're gonna see. We'll probably see a lot more of this kid going forward. I don't think this is his last active game. We've been talking about how behind like a Julius Peppers, Wes Horton, and Mario Addison, who's going to be that other guy that can step up for defensive end, getting pressure on the quarterback. F.A. Abada was that guy today, and I'm a huge fan. F.A. Keep doing your thing, baby. We're all pulling for you, and you keep. The defense was just lit up when he was getting those sacks.
Yes.
They know his story. They know what he's worked to get here. Just again, great story. Very, very pumped for that guy. Who else do we have on TV? Dante Jackson. Rookie cornerback, has 3 interceptions on the season now, got 2 today. Just he's out there balling. And the second one was kind of pretty much a prayer from Andy Dalton, but he still went out there and made the catch. We've seen cornerbacks in the past drop those easy ones. Dante Jackson has not yet. The first one early on in the game was one-on-one coverage, and he just came around the guy. Great pick. Gotta love what you're seeing from Dante.
Yeah, the first one definitely was him playing one-on-one. Second one, there was a little pressure in Dalton's lap from Peppers, finally, getting close to him, and threw up a prayer, and Jackson came down with it. He also has really good closing speed and is really fast when he's coming across the field to hit the people. Like today, I noticed, he hit the guy was coming out of the backfield. He runs all the way from the other side, and when he hits him, he goes back 2 yards.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing to have somebody in the secondary with that speed, and the trash talk.
Yes.
And the head bobbing and the dancing. Like, it really gets him pumped up. I think it's getting the defense pumped up. It's really good to see.
Yeah, those dreads flopping around with the head bob and everything. He came in with a lot of swag, a lot of confidence this offseason through being drafted with the Panthers. Fans immediately gravitated towards him. Obviously, we've all been pulling for him. We love him. And that speed, like you said, is unreal. The closing speed is ridiculous. And, he was kind of one thing that was a kind of a knock on him was his size. He's not big or anything. He's not tall. But when you're 5'10" flying around at his speed and you lay into somebody and they're coming at you full speed, you saw it happen to Tyler Boyd today.
Yep.
Laid him on the ground. My biggest knock with Dante has been at times he doesn't wrap up the tackle. He throws those hard shoulder hits. And I like seeing a hard hit. Don't get me wrong. That went on Tyler Boyd today. And he actually, like he said when we were watching it live, followed through with that tackle to the ground anyway. Didn't wrap up, but I'd like to see him wrap up. I've seen him miss a couple this season that have gone for chunk plays due to that. But he's also made some great tackles. You saw him make one on Ross off a little quick screen in open space. James Bradbury, again, heck of a game today. I know, what quarter was it? A.J. Green went out, and that really hurt the Bengals. Now, I don't want to – we got to remember that too because – when A.J. Green goes down, it's going to hurt your offense. Regardless of the defense you're playing. But was it the third? It was
in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter, and he had 5 receptions for 58 yards. So 3 quarters in, that's still a good game for our defense.
5 catches, 58 yards, and one of those I felt like was a 31-yard pass. I was going to say I feel like he got one big pass, and the other ones are really nothing.
Yep.
James Bradbury was all over him. And I believe it was Bradbury that knocked that ball in the air for Obata to intercept early on a slant route. I think he collided and knocked that ball into the air. Bradbury, through 2 of his biggest contests right now with Julio Jones and A.J. Green, looking solid to me.
Yeah, he is. That's what I was saying, man. If he can keep it up, we're going to be talking about an elite corner, and, it's something we've been missing.
Yep. And
you now have A.J. Green and Julio, and we still have a couple more to go through in just our division. I would say that he's become an elite through 3 games.
Yeah. For this season, I'd have to agree. I mean, you're holding those guys down. That's what we've been waiting to see, and he's finally starting to step up to that task. Guys, right now we're going to go ahead and open up that call line at the top, 704-665-0489. You can call in live. We'll take your call, talk about the game, anything you like, didn't like. We're going to hit some things we didn't like right here shortly. But kind of talking more on James Bradbury and Dante Jackson, just stellar group. We were talking about A.J. Green and James Bradbury. Early on, we talked about in the preview show how A.J. Green scored his 3 touchdowns last week from the slot. Early on, A.J. Green was matching up in the slot with Captain Munnerlyn. Very scary.
Yeah, and those are where his little passes came from. It was just quick. He had some third down conversions, just quick, 2-yard slant, boom.
Yep.
Automatic with A.J. Green. We did allow Tyler Boyd today, who was their speedster, to have 132 yards.
And 2 of those big passes came, he was a guy I kind of warned about in the preview, but 2 of those big passes for those plays and yardage came on plays where Dalton was having to scramble out to the left and really kind of running from his life for pressure. And Colin Jones couldn't keep up with him. Guys, we need a safety. Colin Jones is a special teams captain. He's a hell of a special teams player. And you could do worse in safety depth, don't get me wrong. But he missed a couple tackles. He missed a tackle on special teams, which you don't normally see him do.
Yep.
And I don't know. Him and Golden both had struggles today. Even when Golden came in later on, I was kind of keeping an eye on him. I'll have more on that. I'll go back and watch tape and kind of post some of those clips as I find them, as I do every week. But that's kind of worrisome moving forward. I said I felt fine with safety depth as long as obviously we kind of stayed healthy with the guys. I felt like they would do the job. Denora Searcy on IR now. We're really thin. Eric Reed is out there, and you could get him dirt cheap. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but he could be a huge addition to this defense, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean the ones he gave up, and the missed tackle on special teams on that punt return was we were going to pin them deep.
Yes.
And we allowed them to get 15 or 20 yards. That was kind of heartbreaking, but I mean, Colin Jones, he's going to give up those big plays, but sometimes he's going to make them. And I would like to see somebody more consistent or with some speed, because once the quarterback scrambles, he can't keep up with any receiver.
Yeah, and I see some people chiming in on Facebook Live right now, talking about Ken Duncombe actually saying Bradbury's a silent killer. That was kind of what he was dubbed last year, a silent assassin. Brian Weathersby saying Sweet Caroline, singing the victory songs. And then everybody talking about Dante Jackson. But I see some people saying, why isn't Elder getting any playing time? And that's a great question right now, because I don't know. It seems like every time there's a big third down game picked up by a opposing offense, Captain Munnerlyn is the one that's in the closest vicinity in coverage, and the guy's just wide open right behind him.
Yep.
It's like he gets turned around every time, and I don't understand it. Like, I don't know why Elder hasn't been given an opportunity, just like Golden's been given an opportunity with Colin Jones. I mean, Munnerlyn last year was really upset about playing time. Wasn't getting enough playing time because obviously the coaches didn't like something about him. We were all wondering about it last year.
Yeah.
Why isn't this guy playing? Like, we brought him in. He was great for us before. We've been looking for that nickel guy, and now we might be seeing why.
Maybe, I mean, that was, 2 years ago that he was good for us, and last year he was complaining about maybe the age caught up. I mean,
maybe.
And he just, whenever he's on the field, that is who we blame. It's every time that there's a big play that's given up or a conversion that we could stop, he's just not making the play. And I think that we are seeing why he's on the sidelines.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I don't understand it. Again, guys, I just realized I took that call now thing down. Call live right now if you want to jump on the show and talk to us about the game, 704-665-0489. Yeah, I don't understand why he hasn't been in. I haven't seen him in at all. Like, I'm going to go back and check the snap counts. I'm sure he's been in on maybe some special teams opportunities, but I feel like he should be getting a chance at the rotation with Captain Munnerlyn right now. But, that's just my opinion. I'm checking y'all's comments again right now. Walter Vanderpue praising some CMC on Facebook, and saying a wide receiver is still not stepping up. And we talked about Devin Funchess having his bounce back game that you kind of were thinking he might get this week. But outside of that, he's really right. I mean, CMC didn't really do much through the air today.
He had 2 receptions for 10 yards,
and they came late in the game.
Yeah, and I mean he caught both of his targets.
Yeah, and he's not the wide receiver, but he's like the next best thing. Jarius Wright right now. Well, I kind of have to give Funchess some credit too, but Jarius Wright right now is probably the best receiver on the team this season, alpha production wise, anyway.
Which when Funchess at the beginning of the game, Funchess and Torrey Smith both drop balls, and then the next pass, we got a call coming in.
Brian Weathersby.
Press 1 to accept it. Brian.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Brian, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
All right, what's up, buddy? What you got?
Hey, man. Just first of all, a lot of streams together. I've enjoyed watching the game. Really good to see Fun get back in the cover from his performance last week with several drops and made several key catches this week. It was fun to see that.
Yeah, I definitely agree because and last week we kind of talked about it too, Brian. He was 7 of 9 with 77 yards, I believe. So on a stat sheet, it didn't look bad, but it was the key drops that really hurt us.
Yeah, agreed.
What are your thoughts as far as the Captain Munnerlyn and Corn Elder thing we were just talking about? I mean, do you have any feelings on that right now, or you think it's still a little early?
Yeah, it's still early, week 3, but Captain obviously has played well for us in the past, and I think last year, I think you touched on all the key points already, but I've asked my wife today, like, where's Corn Elder? I don't know where he is. I haven't seen anything out of him or really read much about him either. So nothing really to add there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I felt like, Elder did a great job in the preseason. He flashed plenty of opportunities running that nickel spot. And, I feel like Munderland's, kind of opened the door for him to get some reps, but you haven't seen it again. I don't remember seeing him out there today anyway. But I'm going to look at the snap counts tomorrow when they're released tomorrow morning, and we'll post and talk a little bit more about that. But I think that's definitely something to follow.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, Brian, I appreciate you calling in, buddy. Yeah, man. Anytime.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Billy, you get your phone. I don't know how to work your phone, Billy.
So what I was saying is Funchess and Torrey Smith at the beginning of the game dropped those balls. The next pass was to Jarius Wright.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, here he goes, security blanket. That was his only reception all day.
Yeah. And that was later in the game, correct?
No, that was the beginning.
Oh, okay, that's right. The one I'm thinking about later was actually Funchess caught one late on that long sideline throw from Cam. I was thinking it was Jarius Wright because I was looking at him in the slot saying, okay, this is perfect Jarius Wright time right here. But, no, Billy, we got anything on YouTube rolling on?
We have Jordan Price saying McCaffrey played MVP ball today, and Ice White Ice Rosemond. Luke just don't seem right. What y'all think?
He outside of the cramps today, I thought he was fine.
Dude, that was the weirdest run, watching him run to the locker room.
Yeah, he was like stiff as hell.
Yeah. I thought he looked better than last week.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in on tackles.
He didn't have a huge game, but he also missed almost a full quarter due to the cramps. And I think before he went out, he had like 4 tackles maybe.
Yeah, Shaq Thompson really showed up on the stat sheet today. I mean, and then he had a pick. Put that on stat sheet.
Yeah, exactly. That goes down. I mean, it was late on the Hail Mary, but I'm giving it to him.
Yeah. I mean, 1 of 4 of the one we had today. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, and if he happened to miss it, he did go out with cramps today. So if anybody was kind of wondering what's up with Luke, that's why. He was fine. He got some IVs, came back in the game and finished, and ended the game on that pick, obviously. So I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about there. Walter Vanderpew on Facebook saying DJ Moore needs more snaps. Agree. I mean, we talked about this in the preview. Rivera said he wanted to see him get more. We'll know more when the snap counts come out tomorrow. And I actually felt like he was in the game more today. Didn't you?
I felt like I saw him. He had 2 targets, and as soon as he dropped that target, they took him out.
Yeah.
So when he is getting the ball and it's catchable, he's not taking advantage of his time.
Yeah, that one early in the game where they targeted him kind of towards the sideline, a little out route or whatever. He got one hand on it, but he didn't seem to really put a full 2 hands up to try to catch the ball. I felt like it might have been catchable. They didn't show a replay, so that'll be something else the tape will say again. But yeah, I mean, I still think you have to incorporate him more because, like somebody else was just saying, Ken Duncombe saying Smith has got to step up, talking about Torrey Smith, and I agree. He's been, he retaliated for Cam, and we all praise him for that. I love Torrey Smith for who he is as a guy and what he stands for and the veteran presence he brings, but on the field, he's got to step up. He had a touchdown last week, but he is dropping some bad, easy, catchable balls.
Yeah, and, talking with new offensive coordinator, and we've talked about adjustments and planning for games. It's not Mike Shula where every game plan's the same no matter who the team is. We saw that today with McCaffrey, 28 carries with only 2 receptions.
Yeah.
So they have a ball hawking defense that has a bunch of interceptions through the year. We aren't going to put it in the air.
Yep.
So we keep it on the ground. So, I mean, maybe when we do have a soft secondary to go against, maybe that's when they implement DJ Moore more.
Yeah.
But it does make sense seeing the adjustment for this team that we kept it on the ground.
And they have still tried to get him in those plays where, he's, doing a little end around. We saw that again. They tried another little funnel screen out there. And I don't like it. Let the man run routes. That's what you brought him in for. You praised him as a route runner, getting separation. That's what I want to see. And he did have separation on that play he was open on earlier that we were talking about may have been a drop or it may have been a bad pass. Hard to tell from that angle. But, yeah, I feel like he needs to be implemented more, especially with Torrey Smith struggling. Walter Vanderpue on Facebook also asking, when does Curtis Samuel come back? We talked about this during the preview. He was cleared for workouts and stuff. He has been doing workouts with trainers. But I feel like they're holding him out through the bye week at this point, which is next week, obviously. Hopefully, week 5. If he's not back in week 5, I am going to really – I mean, I'm already worrying, but I'm going to really begin to worry if he'll – what's going to come of his state.
On YouTube, we have the residual effect. How do you feel about our safety situation? And we hit on that.
Yeah.
It's weak. And we haven't seen Corn. We would like to see Corn. Ice White Ice, Rivera's too loyal to the vets. I felt like that in preseason going into the first 2 weeks with Torrey Smith. I still feel that way with Torrey Smith. So maybe.
Yeah. Who outside of Torrey Smith right now though? And I mean, we're arguing for DJ Moore, but do we think DJ Moore is I don't know. I guess we have been kind of saying that, but outside of Torrey Smith and DJ Moore, who else do you have to put in there right now with Curtis Samuel? Jarius Wright's already implemented in the offense. He's in there, but you're not going to put him out wide.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel, I think, is going to be that guy when he comes back, and he will take a lot of those reps from Smith. I feel like if he can keep producing like he did and improving like he did during training camp in the preseason. But right now, I don't know that we have that guy. I'd like to see DJ Moore get more of those reps. But, I mean, it's not like he's been going out there with his opportunities either.
Yep.
So right now it's kind of a toss-up. I just want to see Torrey Smith needs to step his game up catching the ball. It's not like he hasn't been getting himself open. He just needs to catch the damn ball.
Yep.
Cut off those hooves from the deer, baby.
Geraldo S. Panthers need to get Bell from the Steelers.
Oh, hell no. That ain't going to happen, guys.
We can't afford them.
And you got Christian McCaffrey. You just spent a first-round draft pick last year. Don't start the Bell hype. It ain't going to happen, guys. I mean, he was kind of talking about veterans. You could really say if Rivera was like that, C.J. Anderson would be getting the bulk of the carries right now. He's been in the league twice as long as CMC. He's won a Super Bowl in Denver. He beat the Panthers in 2015. He was part of that team, started then. So you could argue that. And I know a lot of people are on like the Rivera gives the edge to veterans. And I think in some aspects that's true. Torrey Smith is probably one of those. And that might be the thing with Captain Munnerlyn versus Corn Elder. But Rivera's also started a rookie every single season that he's drafted. He started a rookie at a certain position somewhere on the team every season since he's been a coach in Carolina. He's not afraid to do it. Obviously, look, he put Obata in today for, quality reps, and it proved right. He started Dante Jackson for the first game, second game, and now third game of the season. Actually, he even held him out of the fourth preseason game. He was that confident in him. He didn't let him practice all week today, and what's Dante Jackson do? He comes out and has 2 interceptions and plays a hell of a game.
Yep.
If that secondary, if James Bradbury and Dante Jackson can keep up what they're doing, and the defense can get back to pressuring the quarterback like they were able to later in the game, because it was not there the first half. It was really worrisome. If that can happen, it'll help mask some of that safety issues that we're talking about, and that might be what Rivera is counting on. But I do not like the attitude of the answer is in the building. No, it's not. The answer is not in the building right now. I feel like you need to go out and sign a cheap guy. Eric Reed could be a solid player, definitely a starter for affordable money. I mean, I think it's simple as that.
Yeah, without the pass rush getting there, it's going to make our secondary outside of those two look bad. So, yeah, we definitely need to get the rush there and actually get home.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see, going back to Fantasy Outlook. Billy, let's see, back to Fantasy Flyers here for a minute. I kind of picked up DJ Moore on this one, and for my Fantasy Flyer of the week, and you picked Ian Thomas. DJ Moore obviously did not have...
Yeah, call coming in.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Call from...
Yeah, you can go ahead and
to
hit it.
accept.
Hello. Hello. Hello? You're on Panthers Source? Hello? All right. I don't know. Try calling back. But anyway, back to Fantasy Flyers for a minute, Billy. I picked DJ Moore. You had Ian Thomas. Where I was kind of hoping for more DJ Moore reps and incorporated into the game plan. Obviously didn't happen. 1.3 points. Ian Thomas came up 0.11 short for you. He was definitely more promising to see him involved today, though, right?
He had some really good blocks. I wish that could be a fantasy stat because he opened up some big holes today for McCaffrey also.
And that's one of the reasons he was drafted, because of his athleticism and his blocking. Cam, was really able to spread the ball around some today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys caught a pass from Cam Newton today. Funchess leading, as we talked about earlier, C.J. Anderson with 24 on the touchdown. Cam totaling for 4 total touchdowns today. So, overall, good game, especially considering, I kind of pulled for the defense to have a bounce back, and they did after a tough start. Go ahead.
Call from
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, how y'all doing, guys?
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
This is defense. But talk a little bit about the game. Y'all saw some comments that was great.
We can't hear you, man.
Yeah, I think connection's bad. You keep breaking up.
Can you hear us now? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, jump. Yeah, okay. Appreciate it. Jump in the comments. You got a bad connection on that call. Appreciate you trying to call in, though. But yes, so like I was saying, bounce back game for the defense did happen today. That was good to see. Overall, anyway, to start with, I still want to see a little bit more pressure, but I felt like overall it was pretty good.
Yeah. And going to the YouTube comments, when he was talking about too loyal to the vets, he was talking about DJ Moore and then the Torrey Smith situation. Okay. Geraldo says Eric Reed is being blackballed. No chance. It's probably correct.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying Eric Reed for, because David Tepper has voiced his opinion on that situation, and he's in favor of the players here. So I don't feel like he's going to be the issue. He doesn't come here. And don't forget, Torrey Smith has a little bit of that too. He's been on that, that helping side of things and that political frame. He's very active on social media about that stuff, and the team didn't hesitate to bring him in. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just wish they'd be open to the opportunity. Bringing a guy off a practice squad bothers me.
Yeah.
When you have a guy like that out there, it's affordable.
And then he commented that Bell costs nothing because he has no contract with Steelers. They just don't want to pay him. Somebody's going to have to pay him,
and
though.
You're going to have to give up a lot.
Yeah.
You're not just going to trade a Vernon Butler for a Le'Veon Bell. You're talking about first-round draft. It's not going to happen. It's just not. He's not coming here, guys. And Ken Duncombe on Facebook, I know CMC was hot today, but I would like to see CJ get more touches. He had 184 yards, man. You can't argue with the hot hand stuff. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve more opportunities, but if CMC is ripping off stuff like he did today, you're not doing it. I would like to see him both on the field more like we saw with the screen to CJ today.
And I think that comes from, the couple touches that he gets, and maybe CMC is in the backfield, or he has a fullback blocking, or we have 2 tight ends blocking, that Anderson does break off a long run, so they want to see that more. But when McCaffrey has 184 yards and is averaging 6.6 yards, you can't take him out. No. We've done that. We've juggled before, and it doesn't work.
Yep, you take momentum away from another back. And look, as big as the holes were today, C.J. Anderson probably would have had a very successful day running the ball as well. Again, the offensive line did a hell of a job against these guys like Carlos Dunlap. Later in the game, he was able to get some pressure, got a strip sack on Cam. Carolina was able to recover, but overall in the run game and pushing these guys, they were doing really good today. Hopefully that continues to gel. Some of these guys get back healthy. as we go into the bye week. And, it'll give Chris Clark at left tackle, again, more time to get acclimated to this system and really come out in week 5 and help, against the Giants and help on the road.
Yeah.
So Shannon Paola saying, "Who Dey regardless." I guess she's a Bengals fan. Well, welcome aboard. We ain't going to hate you for it. But, hey, keep pounding. Not a who Dey here. But anyway, Billy, we got anything else on YouTube?
We do not.
We do not. All right. Well, guys, I think that's gonna do it for us for now until the preview. Oh no, we don't have a preview.
We're on a bye week.
We're on a bye week, and I'm actually going to be out of town, so it kind of falls in line pretty nicely. Might do something later towards the weekend, maybe, depending on a schedule. If I get back in town on time, we'll see how that goes and talk about a little bye week and coaches talk and whatnot, and hit on some things, injuries.
And then for the Giants game, you are going to be at the game.
I will be at the game for the Giants game. Actually, so I'll go ahead and put this out there now. The Giants game I will be at, I will probably go live from my mobile device, as crappy as that's going to be considering what y'all are typically used to here. But I will go live from mobile and talk a little bit about the game afterwards. And I will also be in Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football, November 8th. We're going down with some buddies of mine who happen to be Steelers fans. I know, but don't worry. I'm taking them to the Roaring Riot tailgate, so they're going to be around a bunch of us Panthers fans. And I'll be going live after that game as well, prime time. But right now, that's the only 2 games I've planned to be at. But so, yes, the Giants game, there will be some type of a post-game show. I'm going to try to work on somehow to get Billy up there remotely with me. And
well,
we'll figure
I'm
that
still
out.
waiting to hear on tickets.
Oh, yeah, and he might. Yeah, that's right.
And
Billy might be there.
I part of me might drive up there on a Sunday if I can find some cheap tickets.
See, Billy's going to try to make the move.
I haven't been to. I didn't go to a game last year. I need to get back there.
Game Time app is all I'm going to say. Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't downloaded it yet, download it. Maybe a new sponsor at some point. Who knows? But really cheap tickets on game days. Bomb and put Panther fans in the damn stadiums.
Everybody's asking when we get TD back. We get TD week 6.
Yes.
After the Giants game, because he has 4 games. So we have these 3 games, the bye, Giants, and then the next game.
Yes, that would be correct. I do believe. I'm actually looking that up right now. I know we talked about that, and I think you already had looked it up. But anyway, so if that's all for, Troy Evans up there saying week 6 for TD2. Ken Duncombe saying great show. Appreciate it, buddy. And Shannon, the Bengals fan, saying sorry you have to be in Steelers country. That's their division opponent, obviously. So Steeler fans are happy with us right now, as long as the Steelers can take care of the Bucs tomorrow. Crazy game between the Saints and the Falcons today, though.
Yeah.
Little NFC South action.
I think the Saints end up winning.
Yes. And overtime, correct? With a touchdown?
Yeah, I'm not sure who the touchdown was. I knew that was going to be a shootout.
Yeah, and it typically is, but if you're picking the worst of 2 evils, I think you kind of had to pull for Atlanta to lose that game, because I feel like they're a little bit better team right now. And the Saints have really struggled again. Their secondary struggled today. Calvin Ridley went absolutely off.
Yep.
He's getting plenty of his opportunities as a rookie in that offense. Maybe DJ Moore will get more implemented after the bye week. Hopefully Curtis Samuel's back too, and that helps. But for now, guys, that's going to do it for us in this post-game show. The Carolina Panthers have moved on to 2-1 in the regular season, and defeating the Bengals 31-21 at home. They're on a bye next week. Then we play the Giants at home. Like I said, we will be at that game. But for now, I'm Trip Morgan.
Billy Harless.
And Billy's a little slow right now. But, hey, y'all keep pounding, and we'll see you soon.